I am finally back in my hotel. What a day today in Jerusalem and Israel. I gotta tell you, I just want to kind of give you a little recap here. I can't really put up a lot of stuff, because I need Wi-Fi to do it, and I don't want to just throw up some mumbo jumbo stuff, not even know what it is. So I'm going to assemble it, together when I get home. But in summary today, I was not going to be walking like I walked yesterday. So all I wanted to do was get really I wanted to go to the Garden Tomb today, right? And that would have been just going, getting the cab and going for like $10 or $12, and you go into the Zion Gate or the Lion Gate. You go to the Zion Gate, and so when I got up there, I was just kind of hanging out because I knew, I was going to go to David City. So David City is located just south of Jerusalem, in the city of David, right? And the amazing thing about that is they had like a little 3D movie before you go take a tour of the old complex and everything. And what they're doing is a huge excavation project. There used to be a parking lot over top of this, probably about 50 feet down, right? But now they've got it all brushed away, and you can see plainly the walls and spaces and bedrooms and living rooms and all that as you walk through there. And what was even cooler was that I found my way to the tunnels. And these tunnels, I walked through there. I got video of me walking through there, and I'm telling you, they're so skinny, but they're straight, and they go up about 5.5 feet high. So you have to kind of duck down until you get to a certain area where you can stand up. And let me tell you something: if you got claustrophobia, or if you've got wide hips or something like that, you ain't gonna make it, okay? But you are in like basically a catacomb underground. God knows how far you are underground or whatever, and it just winds around, and you can see. That was pretty amazing. So I walk around and I check that out and take a lot of pictures and everything, and I go, now I'm going to go back up to the city, and I was going to go to the Garden Tomb. So the guy looks at me and says, "Oh, taxi," and I said, "Yeah, well, I want to go to Bethlehem." And he says, "Okay, no problem, because Bethlehem is just south of David City." Okay, so I get in the car with him, and I don't know how much this is going to cost, because I'm just going down there, so it shouldn't really be all that much. So after touring all David City that I could handle there, I've walked all over the place. I took a ton of pictures. I can't wait to show you the pictures and the video too. Some really cool video. I mashed it together. So the taxi cab driver says, "Yeah, I'll take you down to Bethlehem." And I'm like, "Okay, great. That's where Jesus was born," and so forth. And so he's driving me through south here or whatever. And actually, I'd stopped at the guard gate and asked him where Bethlehem was, the guard gate on the south side at the city of David. And he says, I don't know. He says, I think it's down that way or whatever. It's like, I think, come on, you're Israeli Defense Forces. You know where Bethlehem is, for crying out loud. He says, well, we don't really patrol that area, down there too. And I'm like, really? So I'm intrigued, and the taxi cab driver gets me, and down we go to Bethlehem. Well, Bethlehem is located in the West Bank. I've been hearing about the West Bank all my life and all the Palestinian conflict. That's the Palestinian sector of this area, is the West Bank, and that's where Bethlehem is. Now we're driving through there, and it don't look nothing. It looks like Beirut. Okay, it looks like the West Bank, like you see on TV, and it's just, I'm like, what did I get myself into? But I'm going to the birthplace of the Lord. Great thing is, this guy knows everybody, right? So we pull up, and he talks to the guy, and the guy takes me in, and he gets me like past all the lines, and right into the area. It's a cave actually where Jesus was born, and they had the manger in there, the actual manger, and the area he was born. Even the ceiling, the rock, and all that stuff carved out, and people coming and going. And then there's a place where he was born. There's a place where he's in the manger, and people were putting like their wedding rings in the middle of where he was born. And I got down on my knees and I was praying and all that. And it was just a moment and a half for me. I mean, I was just like, I cannot believe that I'm here. And so we left, and then I got cajoled into a shop. Okay, and let me show you, yeah, come on inside, and I felt bad, because the guy had taken me around. He gave me first class, walkthrough there, and gave me a lot of history about it. Told me about the Greek Orthodox Church and the Greek Orthodox Church broadcast that you see every year on December 25th is the one that's broadcast around the world, because the other two happen in January 6th or 7th or something like that. So I thought that was really fascinating. And I ended up spending a few bucks on a little something, but I haggled. I told him no, and then I had to give him the whole parable of the airplane, $100 million airplane. This can't possibly be worth that much money. So I mean, oh, you're a smart guy. So and he's like, look at this. This is the mite. Here's a mite. Here's an original mite. From the Bible. This. Yeah. I said, yeah, I know the story about the widow who put the 2 mites in there and ended up putting in more than what the rich man put in, because he only put in a little bit. Yeah, I know that story. They seem all amazed. What do you want for that? And he's like, $500. I'm like, no. No, you told me a price. We have $350. Come on, $300. Down to $200. Finally, I just said no. So we left, and so we're driving through really the real Israel, like not Jerusalem, but the outskirts. Al this, Allah, Shazam that. I mean, it was. I was glad I had Jimmy there, because he could speak the language. He seemed to know everybody as well along the way. And so after we left Bethlehem, we made our way to, we were making our way to Jericho. And so we stopped at Jericho, and I went out to the, I rode a camel on the way to the Dead Sea. He has a friend there too, so I hopped up on the camel and whatever, gave him 20 shekels and was on my way. And I'd never ridden a camel before, and I'm like, what the heck, and he took my picture. I'll show it to you later. And then we go to the Dead Sea. Now, I didn't bring my shorts. I wanted to go into the Dead Sea, but this time I couldn't go in, but I could look at it. And no fish in the Dead Sea, but there was a little tiki bar there. Then they actually had a little lager, and so I had me a beer on the Dead Sea, and I was 500 feet below sea level when I did that. I took a lot of pictures, a lot of film, a lot of rolling hills. The Bedouins is something also that just blew my mind away. You're talking about in the middle of the desert, and then you got almost like a shanty town, maybe 5 or 6 huddled together, and that's what they've been doing all this time. So most of the people that we're dealing with today was Palestinian, not Jews. And these Palestinians, very friendly. And Jimmy and I got to talking about, what's the rub and all that with the Palestinian and the Jews. And I said, yeah, it sounds a lot like our Civil War. A lot of people had to die that way, and to come together. And you guys are brothers. I don't understand why you got to be lobbing rockets and all that. Why all that has to happen. But I digress. I hope there's a solution for it. And I said, maybe you can share in the wealth or somehow there's got to be a way to, Israel's not going to pick up and move, okay? They're not going to pick up and move. In fact, it was prophecy fulfilled, and that. So, why don't you deal with that? Are you going to overrule God? I didn't say that, of course, because I'm in the West Bank with a Palestinian who knows everybody. Do you think I'm going to do that? No. So, here comes the prayer call right now. Sounds like UFOs are landing outside. I did see a speaker up on the mountainside. It was as big as a semi-tractor trailer truck. That's how big the speaker was on both sides. And they're on all the hills around here. So when it goes off, you can hear an echo all around the mountains, everywhere, from here to the Dead Sea. it's ricocheting off the mountains and buildings. So we had some lunch, got some good lunch, and while we were at the Dead Sea, I think we went in there and had a little bite to eat on my driver, and they came out with this huge thing of chicken, and just chicken and rice, and flopped it down on the thing. I'm like, there is no way we're going to be that. You can't feed 10 people with that. What are you talking about? But it was good. It was chicken and rice, and I ain't gonna eat no dinner tonight. So I'm here at the house, or here at the hotel. So since I had gone to the Dead Sea, I decided to cancel my Dead Sea hotel in Jordan, by the way, which I had to go through their border crossing, and so I'm going to take that off the list. But I've got to find a place to stay, so I may have to end up finding a different hotel a little closer to the airport, because the Dead Sea's quite a ways, and what I pay for taxis, it's a little bit much. But listen, I hope you guys are having a good time. Nothing bad happened today, not anywhere near me, and I didn't see anything. I think I've seen one ambulance, one or two police cars. I've seen dozens of Israeli Defense Forces, police, things like that. People drive like crazy. There's no mind for traffic at all at an intersection, and you're taking your life in your hands if you're going to cross the street. So I hope you have a good night. It's probably morning where you are, but it's night for me now. I'm going to be going to bed soon. I know I've been talking a lot because I had a big day, but I'll put it together for you, and God bless you, and I appreciate you watching and checking in on me. And tonight I only had to run around to 3 ATM machines to get enough shekels to pay for my driver today, because there's limits on cards of what you can take out of an ATM machine. It was a 2,000 shekel day to have him take me. We spent 8 hours all over, touring all over the place. It was worth it. Being able to go to all the places that I went to, from Jesus' birth to the Mount of Temptation, and all the places in between, Bethlehem and so forth, and even seeing stuff that I see on TV, and it's like, this is like driving through Watts in LA.